Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Adventurers Anonymous. I don't think I have any announcements. I think we're just rolling back into our regularly scheduled madness after this. We had some little bit of weirdness go on with the off weeks, just to try to bring everything back to less weirdness, and hopefully, knock on any kind of wood, we'll be able to get back to our regularly scheduled programming. Didn't have any. Am I missing anything? I can't think if I'm missing anything.
Don't believe so.
I'll shill at the end like I always do, but that's at the end.
Love a good shill.
Hey, you know what? There's reasons that for just about the entirety of my working career, I have been in sales and customer service.
I'm not doubting you. I said I love a good shill.
Fair enough. But without further ado, I say let's go ahead, roll into our theme song, and we will get started. Oh, I just love listening to the theme song. I just like to listen to it all the way through. All right. Does anybody want to do recap, or do we want the illustrious DM to do recap?
Let's hear that beautiful, beautiful voice.
You just do it so well.
Fair enough. All right. So when last we had left off, you guys had come to an agreement with your new Rakshasa acquaintances. Augie had successfully fended off the advances of the portal and had tuned into the blessings of Pelor and had closed not one, not two, but 3 layered portals all at once. And you guys had come to an understanding with these Rakshasa, and they had agreed to bring you directly to your ship into Thea in exchange for telling our merry band everything that they know about what has been going on with Opal. They've given you a little bit of information, but there hasn't yet been an opportunity for a nice, sit-down, chit-chat, little tea and cookies kind of deal. We bring in today, back into Thea. Our dear viewers can see way up at the top here. We have our party. Our party is now standing in what appears to be an airship impound lot. You are standing in front of your ship, not on the deck, as your ship appears to be up on some wooden docking. It has no sail. All of the windows are open, and your crew is nowhere to be seen. There doesn't appear to be any guards walking around, nobody, no workers or anything. It's still light out. You guys are probably closer to noon than anything else. But what would you like to do?
Captain Mr. Scratch. Oh, are we gonna do this the sneak in and sneak out way, or are we doing this we're gonna go tail between our legs, pay our fine, look for our crew, and I just need to know beforehand to be mentally prepared for your choice.
We ain't paying no fine. We ain't doing nothing wrong.
But we did. I mean, we really do owe them money. We've been here docked for far longer than we said we would be.
Only because of them.
Because of who?
Them! They interrogated us. They locked us up. We had to get out.
So your reasoning here, Captain Scratch, is that because we escaped their version of justice, they shouldn't have impounded our ship?
There was no justice in that in the first place. It was all set up.
I mean, I agree with you. Well, okay. You're right. In that regard, you're right. We were unfairly held without due process. Whatever that looks like for this country. Land, kingdom, forest, whatever the fuck.
I seem to recall that the main issue was that you were traveling with a descendant of the Mad King Cypher. So they wrongfully imprisoned you in paintings.
I mean, technically, we are no longer traveling with anyone descendant that we know of.
Besides,
This is when you discover you're all war criminals.
Besides, we helped bring that
I
criminal to
was about to
justice
say,
that was
can I-
stealing the crown jewels.
So what's the plan? Again, I asked. So, like, is it like go in sneaky, like get the ship into gear and go, or are we going in flat out refusing to pay, or go back to jail?
I mean, the ship's right there.
Should we...
But it doesn't have any sail. What if they took the sail?
Should we go and try and do it the legal way through the D.A.V.I.D?
What the hell is the D.A.V.I.D?
The Department of Air Vehicles.
Department of Air Vehicles.
God damn it.
Oh, that is now something that exists in this world. Thank you, Lachlan. I will be incorporating that. Guess who gets to get ready to interact with the D.A.V. in every country you go to?
Stop it. I hate that here in real life. Please don't make me do it in my fantasy time.
Lachlan can do it every
Blame-
time.
Blame your doctor.
I blame my doctor for many things. Going to the DMV shouldn't be one of them.
Lachlan gets genuinely excited because no one can read their writing and the D.A.V. hates them, and so just...
Quick thing before we divert too far from our established course. Yude, how stupidly high is your passive? That one too.
26.
That's what I thought. So you are the first person to hear the sound of footsteps, followed by Scratch, and then followed by Kyrius.
Yeah, we know it's not Augie.
Hey, Augie would be
Augie, what's
doing
your
better than
passive?
Rain.
I look to the others and say, didn't we see Yin on the ship last time we inspected it?
I slowly reach for the pistol under my cape.
Didn't Mineo and the Hellstrom Skull send Yin home?
We had that same question when we last saw Yin on the ship.
Since I hear the footsteps, can I use a perception check to figure out what direction they're coming from?
Absolutely. Masara, Yude, would you like to do the same?
I would love to do so.
Okay. So, Scratch, you can tell that as you guys have looked around, you see a whole line of ships. Yours is actually not the very end one. There's actually like one other ship to the side of yours. And the line where there's a whole bunch of ships, you hear footsteps approaching. Yude, these steps kind of have a weird cadence to them. They're not normal steps. They're kind of shuffly and skippy almost. They're not like normal walking. Scratch, you can hear the approach of the tromp on the rocky, leafy, gravelly ground you guys are standing on, but that's about it.
How high up is the airship?
It's about 15 feet up on what is essentially a wooden supports.
Can I grapple up to get a vantage point?
How far does your grapple reach?
Let's see.
Because your ship is tall as well, so.
Oh yeah, 30 feet. Probably wouldn't be able to reach the top.
Not quite. You could reach almost to the top. You could probably reach one of the open windows, but you wouldn't be able to reach all the way up.
I'm gonna ready a spell for whenever they come into view.
Okay.
Can I make an intelligence check to see if can I figure out what the steps are? Because they don't sound like... You said they kind of shuffling, so not like soldiers.
Right, yeah. Go ahead and roll me that intelligence. You can tell that this person is dancing. They're kind of a little shuffle step, kind of a little skip, almost like they're listening to music. You can't hear the music, but you can hear their steps as they kind of...
Oh no, Careful, Captain. They have their AirPods in.
What are those?
I heard it's the latest craze made by artificers that helps record and play back music directly into one's ears.
Everyone get ready, somebody's coming.
Augie draws their sword and stands a little bit in front of Mr. Scratch.
Lachlan would draw their staff and their wand.
Perhaps we should not draw our weapons since we are technically breaking in.
That's exactly why we want to draw our weapon.
Yeah, that's the reason.
Rain's just gonna stand there and cross her arms.
Alright, I'll put my sword away, but I will still stand intimidatingly in front of Mr. Scratch.
Very
I'm
good.
gonna find a nice shadow to
Tuck my wand
skulk in.
into my lab coat.
So as you're all watching the end of the line of the ships, you see someone start to come into view. They're definitely kind of shuffling and like kicking stones up occasionally. You'll see their arms kind of go out to the side as they do some slides for a dance move. Kind of everybody think like the electric slide. Like electric slide adjacent is what this person is doing. And as they approach, you see that it is a younger looking, darker skinned elf, has not noticed you at all, and appears to have a clipboard in one hand and a quill in the other, and is slowly making their way down the line of ships, occasionally just ticking things off before boogieing down the line.
I cast my spell.
What do you cast?
I say, get over here! As I cast Vortex Warp. And I want it to be transported if he fails the Constitution save. Right in front of Augie.
Okay. What's your spell save?
21.
Okay. So your spell reaches out, grabs this person, and then is it a teleport or is it a pull?
I magically twist space around another creature.
Okay, very cool. So you hear kind of a what? Before this person is pulled essentially through space-time and just drops in front of you. They're frantically looking around, kind of like, what, who, what?
Howdy.
Do I recognize this young dark-skinned elf from my time treating the drow in the forequarter?
Go ahead and give me a history check. This person looks kind of familiar. You might have treated a family member, but not them specifically. And you all realize very quickly that this appears to be a teenager.
Oh well, wrong place, wrong time.
Kidnap the youth.
Knock him out.
No.
Maybe.
Hi, friend. How are you? So sorry about that. Can I inquire with you about how to undock my ship?
He smells like bureaucracy.
Shut up, Mr. Scratch.
You guys just want to get out of Impound? Yeah, I can show you the paperwork. Please don't hurt me and or kill me. This is just my summer job. I'm just in between.
Oh, hun, we're not gonna hurt you or kill you. My captain's just a little spell happy, and he wanted to see your dance up close. You were just cutting a little rug there. It was real cute.
Unless you make us do paperwork.
Shut up, Mr. Scratch.
I please don't tell my boss I was dancing. I'm not supposed to.
I would never rat on a fellow artist, my friend. I do have just a few itsy-bitsy questions about this paperwork.
It's really simple. You just have to sign your name on the dotted line and pay a fine. I promise it's really easy. Please don't let your captain hurt me. It's not hard.
I step fully in front of Mr. Scratch. And then, I believe you. I'm not calling you a liar. But would there be any way that you could maybe, I don't know, cut us a break on the fine?
Scratch
It's
sticks
worth
his,
mentioning they're friends with the queen. You
Scratch
have
sticks,
connections. Use them.
Scratch sticks his head between Augie's knees and just snaps his jaws menacingly.
I clench my thighs. Get out of here.
Augie's knees just come together and just like catch Scratch's nose, just poof.
Feel like a crocodile where if his mouth is closed, it can't open.
I don't think that works for dragons.
It open, it can't close.
So Rain, when you mention the friends of the queen, you all see this, like, the gears in this kid's mind just start turning, and he immediately just like drops to his knees. This kid, like, he's about 2 seconds away from bursting into tears. I'm so sorry, I didn't recognize you. I'm so sorry, I'll get the paperwork done. I'm so sorry, please don't tell the queen, please don't tell my boss. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to.
Buddy, what's your name, sweetheart?
He just looks up at you. My name is Alara, and I'm sorry, this is just my summer job. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing.
I think that we're in the wrong here, Alara, not you.
You think?
We were a little abrupt in seeking your attention. We don't mean you any harm. We're not here to get you fired for not knowing who we are. Common misconception. We like to stay out of the limelight, as you may know. We just want our ship into skedaddle so we can do some saving the world stuff. Can you help us?
I can try. I don't really have any authority here. I can't really, like, cut you under the fines, but, like,
Can I get you to calm down just a little bit, honey bun, just a little bit?
Can you have your captain stop glaring at me? I'm just trying to do my job.
I bonk his nose between my knees.
Lachlan would help Ola to his feet and say, "It's okay. We won't hurt you. Scratch is less aggressive than he seems. We need to keep him on tight leash.
He's got little man syndrome.
Oh, you are gonna pay for this.
In this case, little kobold syndrome.
Little dragon syndrome.
I was going to say that, but I don't want to feed into his ideologies.
Oh, trust me, you don't need to because he's already thinking it.
It's genetic.
So, we're not here to make your job harder. We're, technically it could be easier, right? You just say that somebody lost the paperwork. Not you. It was gone before you got here. Somebody else lost the paperwork.
If it's
You're
just that
gonna get
hard,
the
I
kid
can do it.
fired.
I am not going to get him fired.
I'm pretty
Honestly-
sure that losing his job because of missing paperwork for a whole airship that disappears once we take it is going to get him fired.
He can come with us.
Have you ever
So you're
wanted to work
kidnapping
on
him?
an airship?
So
Wait,
we're
no.
kidnapping this
Gosh,
kid.
that was bad. That's a bad idea.
Please don't kidnap me, please. I've got school in a couple months. Please don't kidnap me.
Ola,
It's a new summer job.
you look familiar. I think I might have met your brother. They had a what was it? They had a large gash along their arm that wasn't healing from an industrial wound. I helped them with that, and I can help you too.
Are you the doctor? Because he came home and everybody was shocked. We thought he was going to lose his arm. Are you the doctor that was helping people?
Yes, I am.
Please don't let your captain get me fired.
We're not gonna let you get fired.
I'm gonna go see the
In fact,
manager.
you've been so helpful.
Oh God, he's a character.
I
I think we established from a couple sessions
In
ago
fact,
that Scratch is a Karen.
In fact, you're being so helpful. We are going to send a message to our friend the Queen and suggest that you get a commendation, but only if you can. You can just take us to where we need to sign, and I know you don't have the ability to give us a discount on our fine, but perhaps you could direct us to who can.
Oh,
And
now
that-
we're blackmailing him.
And then we'll let her know that we've hired you as our new cabin boy.
We haven't, unless you want that. But we haven't. We're not doing that.
I can take you to the manager's office. He's probably not here, but I can have you do the paperwork. It's really easy. Like I said, it's like 2 signatures on 2 lines, and you have to pay a small fine. And you guys are friends of the Queen. Like, you can probably be reimbursed for it. She's really nice. Have you guys, like, of course you guys have met her, duh. She's really nice. I'm sorry. I really need this job. And you're, like, the captain and the big metal guy in the robes. You guys aren't exactly reassuring. I'm sorry.
Scratch puts his feet on the back of Augie's calves and pulls himself out.
Give me a strength roll, please. Augie, would you like to contest this?
Absolutely.
Make sure I don't have any of my bonuses on that I shouldn't have on.
Don't you do it.
No.
Yes,
you
I
are-
will. I will do it.
How many have you used
So
those for the
close.
day?
Doesn't the defender take it if they meet though?
Meet or exceed.
Yeah, the defender takes it if you meet though.
No, you make a
With
skill
the
check.
with the
Yeah.
grapple.
Yeah, it's meet or beat. Scratch meets it, so he wins.
Okay.
So Scratch, you kind of press you pick your feet up, and you manage to, like, it takes you a second to get like a good grip on Augie's thighs because you can't just push. So like it
Wait,
takes you a second, and then you just like pop your head out, like you pop your nose out.
So, because it was a flash of genius that let him get out, did he tickle Augie?
Yes.
That's
Back
why
of the
Augie
knee.
let go.
Back of the
That's
knee.
why Augie
Yep.
let go. Yep, just back of the knee. He got a bad grip on the back of the knees, and it tickled Augie, and that's what let him get out. Unless Augie argues.
I stoically do not.
Augie, that not a flinch is shown on your face, but your knee just kind of twitches a little bit. And poor Alarin is just kind of like, would it be easier if I just went and got the paperwork and came back? This seems like it's weird.
I think we should
Everything's
go
weird.
speak to someone, darling. So if you could just show us the right direction.
Yeah, follow me. It's right this way. He leads you off, just occasionally like looking back at you guys.
But Lachlan would reach into his doctor's bag and pull out a lollipop. You're doing great.
I'd pull back my cloak and flash the pistol.
I smack you on the back of the head. Just a nice old pop.
Scratch is the new reason for this kid's next decade of therapy.
Uh-huh. He'll never forget.
Oh, never. It takes you guys about 10 minutes of walking, and you walk past rows and rows of ships. Some are either in bad need of repair or have been here for a while. Most of the ships are pretty nice, pretty well maintained, and you see a couple have tags on them, which... if anybody can read Elvish, which I'm assuming most of you, if not all of you, can read Elvish,
Mm-hmm.
They say to
Yes.
be collected. Some of the ships say to be collected. Some say to auction. Most of them are blank, and most of them, only one has a sail, but you notice it's a mechanical sail, so it's got a lock at the top, kind of like a tire boot. And most of the ships don't have sails. And as you make your way up to the office, it's a nice little building. It's made of some kind of light brown wood with a dark green roof. There's a little bit of music coming from a small device, and there is actually someone inside. It is another younger elf who looks about Alarin's age, who is going over some paperwork and just kind of hears the tromping up and look over, and you notice that she's kind of got, it almost looks like she has vitiligo or vitiligo. I can never remember how to pronounce that. Someone please correct me in the comments. But she's got different lighter patches and darker patches on her skin, and she pokes her head out, not really processing that there is an entire adventuring party behind him. Alarin, where the fuck have you been, man? You're behind on paperwork. You have acquired friends. Great.
Sure.
Scratch, Captain.
Do you happen
Please
to be
don't
the
traumatize this one.
purveyor that we would have to speak to get unimpounded?
Oh, absolutely not. I am just the second on shift. You kind of see her like flailing for something that's just out of your vision. Let me get my manager, and then you all hear the loud, ear-piercing twee of a whistle.
Lord have mercy.
Um,
I look around behind me and I'm like, does anybody have sanding that I can get to Unalay and have her just send a quick
I'm
message
doing it
down
now.
here? Thanks.
I'm gonna send to Onalalan, and I will say out loud, my apologies to interrupt you, Your Majesty. We are at the impound lot. Would you be able to send an emissary to assist us with getting our ship out? I think that was 20. Can I just say something to that effect? I really don't want to have to write everything out.
But that makes it more fun.
Okay, I'll write it out.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling mildly petty today. Type it out. Make sure you got 25.
Scratch just kind of pulling on Lachlan's coat. Make sure you say hi.
She's married.
You can say
Scratch.
hi when we see her. I'm sure that we can hop in. I only have 25 words, and your crush isn't in my top priorities right now. As I'm writing in the air with a page forming around it. And Scratch. You would see right at the bottom of the page, if you're looking, just Scratch says hi.
At least somebody listens to the captain.
I wave the illusory page away, and it shoots into my head, and then a spark of light goes off into the distance.
Perfect. Alarin has now started arguing with his companion, talking about why she blew the guard whistle. He wasn't in danger. He appreciates that she thought he was in danger. He's not actually in danger. And she is yelling that the first thing they're supposed to do when strange people are in the impound lot, when they're not supposed to be, is blow the guard whistle. Why didn't he blow the guard whistle? To which he points at the guard whistle on the shelf.
You called the guards.
See,
I really
now my
wish-
way of handling this would have been a lot better.
I really wish you
Scratch.
didn't do that.
How
If
about
you've been
we
in prison,
calm down?
Captain, I do not know you.
Very good. Very good, Hellstrom.
Wait.
There seems to have been.
Would
Go ahead.
the guard whistle? Just stick with me here. Would there have been enough time for me to react before she blew the guard whistle?
No, because she was fumbling for it out of your vision, and so she had grabbed it and then immediately blown it.
Is she still holding it?
Probably.
Then this is out of spite.
Why?
Won't that kill a commoner?
Yeah, it would.
Probably, yeah.
Very good.
Maybe.
Okay, so now she was justified calling the guards on us. Good job.
No,
Okay,
it
well.
only does the damage if she doesn't drop it.
All right. Well, she does in fact drop it. She fails her save, and she drops the item, and then starts yelling that, "See, I'm glad I called the guards. They're crazy." And Alarin is very desperate,
Scratch.
trying to not get her to keep yelling.
Hey,
We are
listen,
trying to handle this diplomatically.
she isn't.
She called the guard because we have been tromping through forests, underdark, have not had a bath in 5 days, and look like crazy people. We are trespassing on their property, and we want something from them. This is not the way to do it, Captain.
We asked to fill out paperwork and they called the guards. What did we do wrong?
I mean, I think
What
it
would you
started
do
with
with
teleporting the
all
kid. Honestly.
The Queen is sending an emissary. Everything will be fine.
Is she? Did you hear back?
Did I hear back yet?
No. You know that your message has been received, but you have not gotten a response.
Sounds like she's formulating a response and or having wild monkey sex. Mm-hmm.
Or both?
Was that part really necessary?
I just...
Don't worry, Scratch. One day you'll find someone for you.
I wasn't worried.
He's
Glad
just
to
waiting
hear
for
it.
her to divorce the king.
I look at the I look at the attendant who has vitiligo, and I say, "It's okay. You called the guard. I completely understand why. We are not trying to harm you in any way." I glare at Scratch.
She glares at you.
She's the one who blew the whistle.
Is your hand okay?
Look, I'm fine. You stay way over there. As far as I'm convinced, you have taken my friend hostage. So you guys just stay way over there. The guards will be here in just a couple minutes. So, like, if you're actually contacting the queen, which, yeah, good luck contacting the queen. Haha, everybody uses that excuse. It's gonna be just a couple minutes. We will get this all figured out, and just keep your tiny dragon over there.
Well, it looks like they've said you're a lost cause. Might as well join our crew now, cabin boy.
Not kidnapping the kid.
Yeah, do you really want to kidnap him when I'm standing right here? Like, if you're going to kidnap him, at least kill me. Which would be just so great for friends of the queen to have a kidnapping and a murder on their rap sheet. Good plan,
I gave
guys.
him a choice.
I
For
hate
the record-
teenagers.
For the
do
record,
too.
How
I do not
about-
know this individual.
for the record, they do know the queen. They were there on her wedding, which I crashed, but whatever.
I mean, if you know lore about your queen, shouldn't you know that she was with a group before she came back?
Yeah, she was with a group of adventurers. It didn't mention any the crazy people.
What were those adventurers?
Let's see. There was a kobold. There was like an elf. There was a couple humans. There was some like I don't know, some tall gray guy. I don't know. I don't pay attention to gossip. I have better things to do.
So now, take a breath and
Count.
like, so totally like, look at like every one of us like, for a second.
Mr. Scratch, that's too much.
That was painful.
That was perfect.
It was supposed to be.
Alarin is off to the side, just like desperately wishing the ground would swallow him up so he can die a peaceful death.
I don't know silence.
I could have made that happen.
Lauren, I can hear your heart beating from here. How much caffeine are you having a day?
In this whole conversation, there were no checks that we could have made to sway them.
Can you hear his heart beating?
She's a bratty teenager. Nothing you do is going to sway her of anything. She is like, take the most obnoxious 16-year-old know-it-all that you have ever seen in any vague approximation of a position of power at a mall kiosk. And that is who you have standing in front of you.
Is there anything around her that she's like kept on the desk that like shows things she likes? Maybe she happens to be reading a book written by somebody in front of her.
Yes, I'm sure she's reading The Argonian Maid.
Please give me
I didn't write that one.
Please give me
I
a
only
perception
read
check. Give me a perception check, Augie.
A what check?
Perception, please.
Oh, okay.
No reception.
Yeah.
I'm gonna help. I'm gonna help.
I'm trying to get on the level of teenager.
Oh, don't worry. Because Augie...
Rain is just staring at Lachlan with a mix of curiosity and mild fear.
Why are you staring at me with curiosity and mild fear?
Because you can apparently hear a teenager's heart beating from across the room.
No, Alarin's right next to us.
Yeah, Alarin's right next to you guys.
But
and
also,
I don't drink much caffeine. I have like a cup of tea, a cup of herbal tea before bed. I'm not normally this jumpy. You guys are really scary. And Augie, as Alarin is talking to Lachlan, give me just a second, Lachlan. You notice that there is, in fact, a collection of books on the desk. One of which seems very familiar to you. It is a rather spicy novel written by one A.M. Astor. And what were you saying, Lachlan?
Calm Emotions is a cleric spell, right? I should have it.
Yeah, if you prepared it. If you took it for the day.
I always...
Me trying to cycle through my other cleric. Maybe?
It just seems like Roll20 doesn't have some spells. Like, I should have access to Produce Flame, but it's just not on the cantrip list.
Only gives you a certain
yeah, it's absolutely on here, and I always take it whenever I have it.
But do you have it prepared? Is the $865,000 question.
I always prepare Calm Emotions because of situations exactly like this, because it helps. Doobie can attest from Underdark campaign. I'll say I don't have it prepared, but I will add it to my spell sheet because I should have it on there.
Very good. So yes.
I just I'll just gently put my hand on the teenager's shoulder, the Alarin, and just say, everything is okay. You're doing great. Nothing's going to go wrong. You can calm down.
No offense, but I'm going to calm down when you guys are gone. None of you are exactly relaxing to be around, and I've known you for about 2 minutes, and it started out with me being yanked. I'll relax when you guys are gone.
Is it the horns? Because I can get rid of the horns.
I believe it is because of the violence of our captain, who I have no relation with.
I'm going to disguise myself into the same elf form that I used at the wedding ages ago.
Delightful. Augie,
Been like 4 days.
Did you want to do anything with the books?
I absolutely did. I was just, everybody else was doing their thing and I was letting them, I don't need to be talking all the time. I just like kind of saunter over to the desk and I'm just like, huh. Well, I'll be. Which one of you is over here reading the Friar's Robes?
So we will, for continuity's sake, we'll say these two conversations are happening at the same time because I've got something great planned for when she realizes who Rain is. She dramatically rolls her eyes and she goes, I'm the only one in here that has any good taste in reading materials. A.M. Astor is like my favorite author. Their stuff is so amazing. I always catch the new releases, but like nobody here gets me. Why? Are you like? Are you a fan? Like, do you actually have like good taste in reading material?
Well, see, I always just, this is a particular favorite of mine, and I always like to ask readers who their favorite Why Choose Gentleman is. Which friar? Is it Friar Jonathan? Is it Friar Ramsey?
And you notice that she like perks up a little bit and she's like, oh my gosh, don't get me started on like the Why Choose, because like as much as I love Father Jonathan, he's like too much of like a pretty boy pushover. Like I get it, he's the sensitive artist type, but like Father Ramsey is like the bad boy in disguise. He's amazing. Like he's got that dark streak. He's got the dark tortured past that speaks to me as a troubled artist. Like I'm actually working on my own book. I mean, it's technically like fan fiction just because I love A.M. Astor so much, but like I'm really hoping that one day they'll be able to read it and like I can be brought on as like a co-author for something because I'm just like so good and they're just so amazing. But yeah, so like I totally ship like Father Ramsey and Father Jonathan because like they are just so hot together and it's like so good because they'd be like so good for each other because like I could go on like this forever because it's just my favorite.
What do you think of the death of not Penelope at the end?
this is when you notice she kind of like her whole face changed. She's like, that wasn't fair. That wasn't fair. Penelope deserved better. She totally should have gotten with her squire at the end. He deserved her. They deserved each other. She was the only person who understood that he didn't want this life, and he was the only person that supported her in the end. And it's just not fair. And she actually stomps her foot.
My. Sometimes I just write in these Easter eggs too well. You happen to miss the blurb at the end where the squire sees an ethereal form out of the corner of their eye?
Like, I read it, but like, and it was good, and it was like really well done, but like, they should have been happy together. It's the only thing I don't like. They should have just been happy together. Why couldn't they just be happy together?
You've really taken stock that there is no continued storyline in book 2.
I know. And that's what like all my friends say. They say I'm taking these too seriously. I'm getting too wrapped up in it. And they're like, oh my gosh, Malia, you're getting too wrapped up in everything. You're taking it like too personally. Oh my gosh, A.M. Aster didn't write this for you. And I'm like, shut up. You're so fucking wrong. And this is about the point where Rain has transformed and she recognizes Rain. And Augie, you get to watch as the blood drains from her face. Her jaw drops open. And she starts shaking.
Why does she recognize Rain?
We're gonna get to that in just a moment here, don't worry.
Oh, just curious. If you had A.M. Aster in your humble presence, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that, like, as much as I love their writing, their endings are terrible because, like, it's like they know me. It's like they know me when they're writing, but they don't know me well enough. Like, I know they're writing for me, but they're not writing it right. And like, I know that there's like other fans, but like nobody's like me. I'm their number one fan. I have all of their books. I even have 4 signed.
They're signed. Where did you get them signed?
Well, I had them signed, technically I had to sneak out to get one of them because, like, citizens of Tethea, like, really aren't supposed to leave escorted, and, like, I left, like, I went to the High Capital, and, like, I got them signed. They're, like, first editions, and A.M. Aster met me, and they said that I was just an inspiration.
Ooh, you got an imposter!
Is she bullshitting me to seem cool?
Please roll me an insight. 100%. She is absolutely blowing smoke out her ass. You can tell that she does actually have signed copies. They were probably a gift, but she is absolutely bullshitting to try to seem like more important and like stall.
Look at the books in front of me and I look for one that's signed.
None of the books in front of her are signed.
That is interesting. Because I don't remember ever meeting you.
What, are you saying you're A.M. Aster? No, you're not. I've met A.M. Aster. You're not them.
Oh, and what does A.M. Aster look like?
Obviously tall, slender, elfish. Duh. Like, obviously. And like, no offense.
Do elves
like,
take credit for everything?
I mean, like, duh. It's like, Tethayans, like, are just better than, like, everybody else. That's what, like, my mom has always said.
Scratch just snickering.
Oh, don't worry. I gave this gal a shovel.
Really wanting to connect with you, and now I find myself, for the first time, being upset with somebody who reads my books.
Look, like, I get like, you travel with nobility, and she's like gesturing at Rain in the way that, like, that offhanded teenager way. Anybody that has interacted with a teenager, especially a snobby teenager, knows that, like, dismissive hand wave. I get you travel with nobility and you think you're, like, cool, but you're not A.A. Master. Like, I've met A.A. Master, and, like, they're so much more, like, cool. Like, don't get me wrong, like, you're cool, but you guys are, like, the grungy adventurer types. I'm like...
I'm gonna shoot her.
What do I have on me that, like, would prove?
Oh, that's a good question. Because... well, here's a question. Augie. For your books, would they have a portrait in the back, on the back cover, or would they just have a blurb? Would you have the author portrait?
Feel like their latest stuff that's being published probably has, like, a really simple portrait type thing, like, in the back. But all of their pre-published things that are just now, like, being circulated because they got, like, viral, doesn't.
Okay. So the books that you can see, obviously some of them have the portrait. Only one of them has the portrait, just because it's the one older print. A lot of the newer prints don't. Would you carry anything on you for identification? 'Cause I don't think we ever got Augie registered with the guild, so you wouldn't have your guild ID card.
No, but I feel like I would definitely take out, like, an early first run book. Like, I would probably keep, like, the first one on me as sentimental something or other that has, like, my portrait on it, like, ooh, I made it big. And really, it's like I paid somebody off the street to draw me just so I could put this book in Lachlan in the store that we have.
Yeah, and so, like, it's got one of those, like, you've had a handful of people sign it kind of thing because it's special and these are the people you've met. Something like that. Something that shows that you are A.A. Master.
Would you be interested in seeing a first run copy of The Night in the Tower?
Oh my gosh, The Night in the Tower hasn't even, like, fully, like, the new prints haven't even released yet, and you have, like, an old print? Like, oh my gosh, that would be, like, super cool.
And I flip to the back page, and I slide it across the desk.
And it's about this point that she successfully puts two and two together, because it's taken her a couple leaps. You just get the one leap. It takes her a couple. And she kind of, like, looks at you, looks at the page, looks at you again, looks at the page, looks at Rain, looks at the page, looks at Rain, looks back at you.
Is she looking at me?
She's convinced at this point that she thinks you are A.A. Master.
What?
So a little bit of background for this character. She has never been outside of D.A.V.I.D.
It shows.
She has... Oh, very much. It's about to get worse. It's about to get worse. Her mom is a higher up. She is from one of the noble families. So she has been convinced, since she got these books, that obviously A.A. Master has to be a noble of D.A.V.I.D, obviously. And so... like, and Rain is kind of like the mystery daughter, like when you crashed the wedding and everybody talked about it. She's like, well, of course, that was A.A. Master. Somebody as cool like that who has these adventures, of course. And since you are wearing the house colors of your family, it kind of clicked in her mind. And she's like, oh yeah, obviously this is A.A. Master. And these are like her scruffy, grungy bodyguards. Duh. And now her entire world is crumbling around her and she doesn't know what to do.
So sorry, Augie.
Oh, my. You would think, as a fan, you would really know who you were a fan of. And you met me? I mean, surely my number one fan would not mistake me for an elf.
It was dark.
Bogey May, does this person not realize who you are?
It appears to be so. But they're my number one fan.
Huh.
It's about this point, Lachlan, that you get a message back from Anna Leyland that's just simply, help is on the way.
Help is on the way, yeah. Help is on the way.
Absolutely the reference I was going for. And it's also...
Anna Leyland's sending some people.
It's also about this point that you guys hear the trumping of boots. This is a very distinct sound that all of you are familiar with. The sound of armored guards approaching your position.
Yay.
As a fan, I think you know what you need to do.
She just kind of tears up a little bit, like, yeah, I'm sorry. And she just kind of sulks off to go talk to the guards.
It starts
Lauren.
with sorry.
Yes. Lauren's basically having an aneurysm.
I'm gonna look at Lawrence like, why was she like looking at me like that? Is there something on my face?
No, it's not on your face. Her mom is one of the noble houses, and so you're wearing colors of a noble house, and she convinced herself that you're A.M. Aster. I'm so sorry. I can't even say she means well, because, like, she's technically my supervisor because she started a week before I did.
But you feel like she's the worst?
There's no think. She is the worst. Her mom is the worst person I've ever met. She's got, like, some job that she, like, works with the guards, but like, she's...
Is she
really...
dressed in all white?
I don't know. I've never met her. I just know she's a bitch.
Oh no.
That does sound
She's
like
a
that.
green leaf. She's a freaking green leaf.
What does that mean? I don't know shit about elven politics, alright?
She's just kind of a terrible person. I'm sorry, you guys. I was gonna try to tell her that you're just here to do paperwork, but, like, technically she followed the rules, because technically you should have talked to her first, and, like, I'm in so much trouble.
You're
Hey,
not
we-
in any trouble.
Technically, we didn't know because there's, like, no signage out there.
We also got teleported here.
Yeah, there might be signage at the front gate.
As you guys are discussing signage, you see the elvish gal you've been talking to. She's coming back. She's leading a procession. She's got her head down, very much staring at her feet. And at the front is a very familiar face. Leading this procession, looking very confused and frustrated, is Nasaru.
What?
You guys leave without a trace for a few days and come back causing problems. Donolan's gonna be so upset, Captain.
I mean,
I don't think so.
The word problem is really subjective.
I believe harassing employees of the people of her nation is considered a problem.
Not like we heard any of them.
And I look pointedly.
Is the whistle still heated metal?
I think it fades very quickly, but let me double check. Unless Scratch is maintaining concentration on it,
No,
I think it fades.
I let go of concentration a while ago. It only works for a minute anyway.
Yeah, I figured unless you were, like, focusing on keeping it hot, it had faded. So yeah, the whistle is on. It's just on the floor, and she's definitely, like, hiding her. Like, she's got her hands behind her back, just kind of like, please forget I exist.
But yes,
Passing.
paperwork.
We were merely having literary discussions, weren't we?
We were trying to do paperwork, but somebody blew a whistle.
Can I insight Scratch?
Go for it.
It was probably an accident.
Nothing I said there was false, by the way.
Oh, I know. Masaru, give me that insight.
That's Halstrom. Let me try again.
Halstrom knows that Scratch is telling the
Halstrom
truth.
can't hear shit. His ears are off.
Oh, that's right. Halstrom is
Halstrom- I'm imagining Halstrom is just humming off key at the moment.
No, I don't even imagine that. I imagine he's just like figuring out in his head like the next plan. He's not making any noise.
There you go.
Yeah, Masaru, Scratch is telling the truth. He fully intended to have the crew come up and do the paperwork, and she blew the whistle.
I surprise you. I do appreciate you going through the proper procedures as for Tathayan and Imperial paperwork. How did you guys get in here?
We were teleported.
Oh, you guys are gonna. I'm gonna need to get that report from Yurei after this is all done. But yes. Let's see. DM, where am I gonna take them?
I mean, you guys can just do the paperwork in the office. You just need to get the paperwork.
Yes.
Unless you want to take them to the dungeons.
No. I'd rather not. Even if they are troublemakers, we still have a mission to do. Safety of the Imperium comes first.
Oh, Lauren he kind of puts his hand up very slowly. Mr. Emissary, sir, I know where the paperwork is. I can get it for you guys.
This
Thank you, young
is
man.
raise.
I was serious about talking to Arnold Leyland about getting him a royal commendation.
See, at the time, it just sounded like blackmail or bribery.
That wouldn't be
Yeah,
blackmail.
It was bribery.
Yeah.
Oh, Lauren just kind of slinks around you guys, like not making eye contact, just like ruffles through a drawer, pulls out about 3 pieces of parchment and a quill, and just sets them on the table. There's kind of like a little desk or a little. What would that be? Not a windowsill, but what would that be?
Counter?
Thank you, counter. Out of the window, and he just kind of sets it up there. You guys just have to read through this, sign at the bottom of the second page, and then whoever's, I don't know, like in charge has to sign an initial at the second page, and then I have to sign an initial on the third page confirming that you guys just, you talked to me, you paid your fine, you agree that you're not going to do this again, and then just let you leave.
Do what again?
Well, you guys abandoned your ship, didn't you? That's what Malia's mom said. She came down. I guess I technically met her once. She came down and she said that you guys abandoned your vehicle, that you guys were going to leave your crew here, and you guys just left.
We were held captive in a top secret, high security facility.
Hey, Scratch. Scratch. Maybe we don't yell about the secrets of our kind and very capable of putting us in paintings again hosts right now.
Is there possibly a paperwork for waiving this fee for considering we have the Captain Scratchier's ship has been unjustly impounded?
I mean, yeah, like I'll have to get my manager's signature for it, but yeah, it's only, you guys were only going to be charged like 3 gold. You guys haven't, like, it's like 1 gold a day for how long you're gone, and you guys were registered for 2 days, but then like you were gone for longer, so
That's a lot of money.
I'll get the paperwork, we can waive it. And he just kind of rifles through and pulls out another 3-page stack, and at the top says fee waiver.
Augie is like so beside themselves because that's all they were asking for.
Yeah, if you can just, and he just kind of like pushes the paperwork forward. Just read this, sign at the bottom page, on the bottom of the second page, initial next to it. Then when you're done, I'll sign it and initial, and then you guys can leave. I'm sorry, I just really want you guys to leave.
Augie instead busies themselves signing books.
Are you just
And it
pulling
says-
books out of Amber's face?
Do your research, Augie Master.
Lachlan's gonna reach into their medical bag, pull out a little vial, and says, "I forgot to give this to your brother. If his injury comes back, or if his skin turns purple, make sure he takes this."
Alarin
How
very
long ago
slowly.
have you treated this guy?
A few days. Yeah, but Alarin takes the vial and looks very concerned.
Hey, kiddo, what's your name? Your mom is Marania Greenleaf, right?
Yeah, why? Do you know my mom? Oh, I mean, of course, like, you know my mom. You're noble. Of course you know my mom.
Not personally, no. Never met her. Take my family as an example. They lost their noble status for a reason.
Wait, that was, like, real? They didn't just, like, that wasn't just, like, a show? Like, you guys actually lost your noble status for, like,
yeah.
all the things they did?
They locked me in a tower for 13 years. Because, drops the disguised self. Ta-da!
Rain, you start to notice some gears clicking. So, like, they were just mean to you just because you were, like, born like that? You didn't do
Yep.
anything wrong?
Being noble does not make you a good person.
Masaru, so the paperwork explains that your ship has been impounded for one of the listed reasons below, and it's things like essentially public intoxication, flying without a license, abandoned vehicle, kind of your standard reasons for impound. And it says, please select reason for impound, and then it has a signature and initial at the bottom.
What about the fee waiver? Because there's an other for unjust impoundment.
Yes, there is at the very bottom in very small print that says, if you believe your vehicle was impounded unjustly, please consult fee waiver form. It's in very small print.
Of course it is.
And the fee waiver paperwork says, if you believe your vehicle has been unjustly impounded, you can be reimbursed for up to 50% of the fine you would have or have paid once confirmation of unjust impoundment has been proven.
Is there a fine
then it
print for
keeps
how
going.
long that takes?
Yes, there's very fine print at the very bottom that says may take up to 4 to 6 business weeks.
Alright, the fee waiver is going to take way too long. We have more than enough in the coffers to just take care of the fee. Let's just get this over with. 4 to 6 business weeks for 4 gold.
But it's the principle of the matter at this point.
Exactly.
Hey, look on the bright side. The fee money goes to the crown, which is the queen. So,
Scratch
Does it
digs
say
in.
we have to wait here for the...
Scratch digs into his pocket and takes out 4 gold. Lays it on the counter.
Grumble, grumble, sulky, sulky.
Lachlan says, "You know, Scratch, we could give this all in copper pieces."
that's just petty.
You're gonna do that to poor Alarin, whose job it is to process all of this. You're gonna do that to him?
Nope, I'm
No,
gonna
I
give
won't
it.
do that for
I'm gonna
Lauren.
give him 40 silver pieces though,
That works.
because I had 42.
You just plonk down a bag.
Nope, it's 1. 2, 3, 4.
Very
And
good.
they're not even stacked in like equal piles. Like one stack is 3, another stack is like 9.
This
I assume kobolds would probably use a base 6 counting system, considering you have 3 fingers.
Probably, yeah.
I don't think kobolds would have a base to their counting system at all.
This one does. Yeah, there you go.
So, Scratch, as you're counting out these unequal piles of coin, you actually see Alarin smile because he knows what you're doing. And you see Malia, she's just kind of like tapping her foot. The guards that Masaru had been escorting in are just like, they're just like looking back and forth. Some of them had caught part of your shouting and are kind of whispering about it. But otherwise, they're just waiting there to see if anything escalates. And once you've counted out your silver, Lauren sweeps it into a small box, and he just kind of looks between Masaru and Scratch. Who's gonna sign? Because it doesn't really matter, but whoever's like highest rank, and he kind of like air quotes, whoever's like highest rank or like in charge needs to sign.
Will the Greenleaf over there need to be the one who processes the paperwork?
I mean, technically, but she doesn't know how. She mostly has me do it.
That's a shame.
And she's just kind of like, you guys all see Malia, who's just like very angrily like staring at her feet.
I'm gonna pull a clipboard out of my doctor's bag and start writing a long letter.
I sign it.
He flips the page over and points to the dotted line. Sign an initial here, please.
Captain Scratch. Multiple R's at the end.
Oh, of course, at least 6 R's. And then initials next to it.
SF. Now give me our boat.
I'm sorry. Is Captain not your legal first name?
It is a title, a rank.
You see him pull out a similar, another quill, this one with blue ink instead of black ink, and he just underlines it twice in the blue ink.
I told you I smelled bureaucracy.
And then he flips the page over and he signs it and he initials it. And he just kind of slides the pages over so they can dry. I'll get you guys your sale. You guys are second down from the end, right? And he picks up a card with smudged ink. The Invertebrate Sanctuary?
What?
Augie snorts.
What?
I have to admit, Mr. Scratch, that was kind of funny.
It's what the card says. I am not the one that processed the ship-in.
Wait. Did one of my other experiments get out? Don't touch the invertebrates.
Were those like the tanks and stuff that were on the ship? Because if they were, a lot of that stuff was confiscated.
How do we go about getting that stuff back?
You probably have to talk to Malia's mom, because a lot of the stuff like that, like dangerous stuff, is usually taken to the guard barracks. There's like a room underneath that she has the key to, and it's where like the weapons and stuff are stored. So you'd have to talk to her.
I really hope she knows what a death squirm worm is.
I quit. just start walking away back towards the ship,
Mr.
dragging my tail.
Scratch.
We're on a tight timetable here, and nobody seems to give a shit.
So, Scratch, because your tail's still broken, is it like going over each of the cobbles and just like, ow, ow, ow?
Probably.
I could call her if you guys want. It won't take very long. We have an actual phone. They call it a telephone. We have one. It goes up to her office for stuff like this. I can call.
Scratch is doing everything in his little body's ability to not blow this entire facility sky high.
Is this the part that we let Ona Leyland take care of? Because if we see that woman again, and Augie mumbles this under their breath to Scratch because she's trying to be sensitive that it's somebody's mom, even though their mom's a shit sandwich.
I mean, we didn't necessarily confirm that she was the person we spoke to earlier, who imprisoned us in paintings.
All right, fine. My question still stands.
Masaru, are you the help that Onoledlin was sending?
Yes.
Yes.
He is.
That's right. I was sent down to help with the situation.
Well,
Yeah, all eyes on you, buddy.
Let's see. I'm gonna look through paperwork to see
ah,
if there's anything for getting our stuff back. I mean, if we could, on a time that we could, if the Queen's not too busy, we could ask for just a official pardon to get all of our stuff back.
how many dimension doors would it take for me to get to Only?
The world may never know.
Just doing the math in my head.
It is 2,730.7 feet.
Okay, so
Probably a little more than that.
about 8. No. Yes, about 8.
That's assuming she's in the royal chambers.
Just gonna sit down and just little ball sitting there.
Augie is like side-eyeing Masaru because they're like this whole fucking time and all the shit that we've been through, and he's just been hooting it up.
I'm just gonna call Miss Greenleaf. I think at this point it'll be faster. It'll be just a second. And Alarin just goes over and he picks up just what looks like a handset. Hello, Miss Greenleaf. Yeah, I'm at the impound lot. We've got some people here. They need to get some contraband. I told them they have to talk to you. And this is kind of when he starts to hunch in on himself a little more. Ma'am, they're trying to not leave. Ma'am, please don't yell at me. I'm just doing what you told me to do. Look, they're still here. You can talk to
Masaru,
them.
and I'm like, can you take the phone and take over? That poor kid has not done anything to get yelled at for.
Masaru's gonna take the phone.
Rain is literally starting to steam.
Alarin,
Logan picks
what
up
are
the
you
clipboard again and starts
This is
scribbling on the
Masaru
page.
Kusanagi, the emissary of the Imperial Nation.
Oh. And what are you doing there?
I am here on behalf of helping with Captain Scratch Flabbercaster with retrieving his contraband in order for an important mission to help the Empire.
I'll be right down with a pass for your contraband. It'll be just a moment. And you can hear on the other end of the line, Masaru. And yes, this voice, Masaru, to you sounds very familiar.
See, I'm gonna. Can I do a? Do I need to do a history check to know the voice?
Oh no. This is a voice that you will never forget.
Fuck this bitch. Oh, and I want to say, my shadow sends his regards.
A.K.A. fuck this bitch.
Yes, I will be down shortly with your paperwork. Thank you. Click. And it takes but a moment for a familiar face to appear before you all. In her best pressed white suit, golden hair slicked back into the same bun it had been before, stands before you your interrogator.
Oh, Augie bristles.
I make the sound a little bit louder.
Guard dog mode activated.
Why am I not surprised it's you lot now? I suppose you're wanting your contraband back.
It's not contraband if you didn't do anything wrong.
As I'm sure your friend, and she kind of scans the room looking for Yurei, will tell you, as he discussed with me last time we met, I am very well within all of my rights and all of the laws of Tefea to do as I saw fit with your abandoned vehicle.
Well, we were very right in all of our lefts to sneak out from under your weak-ass nose.
Can I do a history check to see if she actually if she skipped any important steps?
Go for it.
A bureaucracy check.
I kind of feel like I want to figure out something for that because, like, when you're in Tefea, you need to make bureaucracy checks. Yes, Masaru, technically, knowing with your previous conversation that you'd had with her, technically, she did not violate any laws and she did not skip any steps. However, since no one in the room outside of the crew knows that you guys were imprisoned, technically the only right she had to impound your ship was for seeming abandonment, and technically she would have had to have someone inspect the cargo to confirm if it was in fact contraband. And you haven't had any confirmation. There was no tags on your ship saying that it had been thoroughly inspected. So technically, based on the very minute letter of the law, she had no right to take anything off your ship.
So in other words, she seized property without a warrant.
Yes,
If
she
I-
absolutely did.
If I am remembering Tethaian law correctly, there were no tags on the ship for a proper inspection for the cargo in this ship, nor is there anything in the incident report for the individual who searched the ship.
What is the Fourth Amendment equivalent of this?
I mean, essentially search and seizure. She hit an unlawful search and seizure.
The 13th testimony of the Treaty of Tethea.
Y'all are going to make me come up with a Bill of Rights for Tefea, aren't you?
I am going to use every single bit of bureaucratic red tape to make her life hell.
I'm sure in all of your free time, Molly, you have plenty of time to do that.
Yes, my vast expanses of free time. You know what? I'm going to come up with something now, equal parts out of spite and world building.
Those are the best times.
Masaru,
Lachlan moves on to his third page of letter writing.
you audibly hear her jaw click when she realizes that you're right.
I give a smile. I just smile politely.
Yes, I am so terribly sorry, emissary. It seems it was just an oversight on my part. It will be rectified post haste.
And Miss Greenleaf, just for our records, which will be going to the Queen, what was your first name?
I don't believe I gave you that information, Doctor, nor do I believe it's pertinent.
It will be when I do send an official report to the Emperor.
Sounds like a public servant failing to identify themselves.
No, Captain, it's not, as my name was never formally asked for except in this moment in which your doctor had asked me to clarify. No, I have not failed to identify myself as you have all currently identified me. If you'd like to bullshit around my laws, I will bullshit with you.
Hi,
Excuse
what's
me.
your name?
Lawrence?
Hi. I would like your name. As, a member, however distant, of the royal family. I haven't met you before. Hi.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Aren't you a daughter of the disgraced House Farwood?
Yeah, that's why I didn't mention my parents. I mentioned that I was a distant member of the royal family.
Yes, you did mention that, and as I am currently an esteemed member of the court, I outrank you, my dear. So no, you have asked for my name. No, and on what grounds would you possibly have? I am an esteemed member. This is the first time you guys have actually seen her lose her cool. I am an esteemed member of the royal court of an actually respected family. What higher rank could you possibly have than me?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was pulling rank. I was asking for a friendly introduction.
And there is nothing friendly about this introduction. You and your little group have been trampling across my lands.
I'm not with them.
And yet here you stand before me with this renegade group, which, as you will know, my dear, makes you an accomplice to what all of the crimes and the horrible things that they have committed. I have every right to arrest you all right here and now. If you would like me to, I will. I will invoke the powers that I have. However, if you will just give me a moment to get your paperwork and your permit, I will get your crap so you can get on your little ship, you can fly away and leave me in peace.
I'm sorry, could you list those crimes with, the witnesses here?
That's when she kind of realizes that there are, in fact, witnesses. And not only that, her daughter is there and has been witnessing everything. And she just kind of... That is a matter to be discussed at a different date. Because now...
you brought it up. I just wanted to know your name because I've never seen you before. We haven't been introduced. I was curious.
At this point, you can be curious as long as you like. I will not be giving you my name.
Oh, I actually know it all already. You're Marania Greenleaf, right? You had tea with my mom a couple times while I was locked up. Yeah.
Scratch
I have ears everywhere.
Scratch pulls out his book and starts to write that down.
You guys actually talked about me a couple times, but you never came up to say hi, which is fine. I get it. It's okay.
She's very quickly losing what little composure she had managed to regain.
Please underestimate me, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
She has been underestimating all of you, and that is one of my favorite things about this character. Is she's such a bitch.
Ah, yes, thank you. I believe, unless you want to add anything else, that will finish my report. Oh, I will add, threatened us with unlawful arrest. Thank you.
Retaliation.
Is there anything else you wanted to say? Because I'm pretty sure we were supposed to be brought directly to my cousin. And if she misses us for too long, she's probably going to come looking herself. Yeah.
She just kind of clicks her jaw again and just kind of, fine.
That's really bad for your teeth. You shouldn't do that.
Doctor, I assure you, my teeth are not clacking against each other. It is merely a pocket of gas in my jaw.
Oh, well.
Simple joint pop, that's all it is.
Ew.
It's okay. She's used to being full of hot air.
Yeah. Run along.
You guys can about see steam coming out of her ears at the run along comment. This is very much the situation of if looks could kill, you would all be dead. Like 6 feet under, pile of ash, dead.
You are dismissed.
She just very stiffly nods, just turns on her heel, and disappears into a shadow.
Well done, Rain. Well done.
Well, I'm
Now,
technically
Alara.
not with you guys since I'm not in your crew roster. So nothing I said was untrue.
Should we be confused, or like, can I insight that it's weird that she turned into a shadow when is she a drow? Is she not a drow?
She is not a drow, and please give me that insight.
She did that while we were in those rooms, though, too.
Technically, in the rooms, she did not disappear into a shadow. She walked through the wall. This specifically, she walked into a shadow. Augie, you recognize this. You have seen Rylan do this in almost the exact same way.
And that's weird.
You also all have noticed that the guards have dispersed very quickly.
Also, I apologize for accidentally naming this character if you already had a name for her.
Okay, I'm gonna be real here. The entire name of this character so far has been the Interrogator.
Oh, and we've only called her the bitch. So
yeah, so there has never been a name for this character, so thank you.
I've even got her labeled as bitch that likes to interrogate.
Nice.
It's appropriate.
Yeah.
You all would notice that as the tension in the room kind of dissipates a little as you wait for Marania to return, you notice that Alarin and Malia are in a very, very quiet, heated discussion.
Is it a lover's quarrel?
Can I make a perception check to listen?
I mean, anybody can, like, if you... Let me see. What is your passive?
Brutus would go over in his best interpretation of a dog who is not intelligent and just sit and pant.
Rain, go ahead and make me perception. Everybody... oof.
I don't hear shit.
No, you don't. You're too busy just, like, reveling in being able to
the glory of taking this bitch down a peg.
Yeah, you're reveling in the ability to use your powers for good and evil at the same time.
Augie is going to pull Scratch aside before he dives too deep into what that argument's about. And just be like, okay, really quiet. I don't want anyone to hear me that's outside of my, immediate conversation with Scratch. And I'm just gonna be like, I know I'm not like the smart or perceptive one in this group, Mr. Scratch, but don't you think it's weird that she can use shadow magic?
Yeah. A little bit. Kind of worrying.
I think we should be worried, and by we, I mean, like, we should be worried for your girlfriend and who she has in her court.
Well, We should definitely probably try to get an audience before we leave.
Brutus Brutus went over and sat by the conversation. Did he hear that as well?
Yeah, if he was close enough that he would have been able to hear it too.
But I mean, honestly, I mean, they already had somebody try to steal the crown jewels. I mean, maybe we could make something else happen.
What if that woman's part of that plot?
Exactly.
Because if she can travel by shadows, then she can just get in and out.
Exactly. Maybe she took it in the first place. Maybe she planted it on that guy. I mean,
I'm just worried that there's no reason why she specifically should have that magic, to my humble knowledge.
next time we see her, I'll put on my my spectacles and see if I can detect anything unusual about her.
Sounds like a plan.
I have a feeling it won't be the last time.
I really don't like that lady. She is just a fucking twat.
The apple didn't fall far from the tree, neither.
I mean, she really didn't have a good example. Maybe we cut her a little bit of slack.
Sure, she can be the what's the female equivalent of cabin boy?
Cabin girl.
Cabin girl?
We'll take them both. The more the merrier.
Only if they want to come, and only if they are either in danger from their parents or have permission from their parents. Both of them seem to be in their mid-50s. They won't be adults for another 40 years or so.
I mean, the age of emancipation in these kind of times is like, what, 14?
Depends on the circumstances. So as you guys are discussing this, Malia actually comes over, and she kind of comes over to you, Augie, and Alarin comes over to you, Rain. And they both, and you notice that Malia's kind of looking back at Alarin, and she's like, come on. And he like looks at Scratch and just shakes his head. Looks at Scratch, looks at Malia, shakes his head, and like kind of half hides behind Rain.
Oh, up, kiddo.
Miss Farwood, would it be okay if I took you guys up on that offer to kidnap me?
Look who was right again.
What a great way to say it. Oh my god.
I turn back on my ears and I see this child asking to be kidnapped. What happened?
Just your captain being right on everything.
First off, I am not actually on the crew roster, and the snappy kobold over there is the captain. So it's not me you should be asking. I would be happy to have you along. Just, I'm not really the right person to ask.
Isn't
to
the
come
first
with
mate in charge of hires and
ship.
fires?
Usually, yeah.
Rain doesn't know that. Rain doesn't know anything about ships.
As far as Rain is concerned, Scratch is the highest authority on the ship, so we should de facto, go to Scratch. Miss Farwood, could you ask the captain if I could take him up on the offer to kidnap me so I don't have to talk to him again?
Sure. I can do that, yep. Scratch, the kid wants you to kidnap him. You in?
Does he want tweed sack or ropes and chains.
Okay, I wasn't being literal. He wants to leave and go with you and the crew.
Oh, I thought he wanted us to make it look like he was kidnapped. Oh, yeah, Augie.
Hired.
And Augie, at this point, Malia kind of comes over and she's just kind of scuffing her feet and just kind of like, can I go with you guys too? My mom's kind of awful, and I don't want to be there anymore. I'd like to get out so I don't have to like feel like I'm being punished for being born the way I am.
We could
That
use
makes
another
sense.
pair of hands for cleaning showers.
Rain's gonna come over and like clap her on the shoulders, like, I get it, I really do.
I am going to say absolutely, and with the caveat that we clip the attitude at the door.
The workshop always needs more apprentices.
Oh, I like the word apprentice and not the situation with the bodies and the brains and the swapsies and the doodles.
And hey,
Only if one consents. How many times do I have to repeat that?
As many times as it takes.
and hey, if you don't want her to know that you're coming with us, I have contacts in like the city's underworld that can make it seem like you ran away and you're hiding with them.
But just remember, if you want to get off the boat, it's a long way down.
Are you trying to scare them?
No, I mean, it is a long way down. I don't like looking over the edge. It's very high up.
Brutus would go over and nudge them both with his head and just say, "Welcome aboard."
Neither one of them have acknowledged that Brutus is talking. You all get the inclination that they're pretending that he's not actually talking.
That feels right.
It's okay. You're not crazy. I'm just a very smart dog.
So Mixed asked her about the attitude. I'll do my best, but I'm really sorry. I'm sorry. I just wanted you, I just want to be cool for once in my life. I'm not cool. I live my whole life in my fucking house unless I'm coming to work. It's so boring all the time. I don't have anything. I don't have friends. I have a Lauren and he's scared of me. So I'm sorry. I really am sorry.
I appreciate the apology. And I think he might be a little scared of you because you're kind of a lot to handle at first. And he's just a little gentle soul, you're just a little bit nicer, maybe. And all of that, your cool factor goes 30,000 fold just by saying you ran away to be an adventurer on an airship.
I mean, that does sound pretty cool. I all of your books have adventurers, and they're super cool. And and she leans in really close and she whispers, I really want Lauren to like me because he's really cool, and I like him, but I want him to like me. I like him, and I want him to like me. So I think he's cool, and I want to I want him to like me.
All right.
He finds this absolutely delightful.
Did I cause you some psychic damage there, Scratch?
Scratch's meter has been broken. And he is done. He just in the middle of that phrase, he just turns and begins to walk away towards the ship.
Augie just claps her on the back and says, "Girl, we are in the same boat. I'll tell you a story another day."
So do I need to pack a bag or something? Or is this the whole, oh my gosh, is this in the Twisting Tales when Gisela just runs away from home and she just has her dress and a torch? Is this that?
Only if you want to wear the same disgusting clothes over and over again.
Oh, yeah, probably not. How am I gonna get a bag though? And this is when you all see Alarin just standing behind her, holding two jump bags.
I think your friend's prepared.
It's really common in the lower districts to have a bag ready to go in case you need to escape. So I always just pack two, just in case.
I love this.
Kyrios whispers to Agu.
That's very nice of you.
Kyrios whispers to Agu. Haven't we been wearing the same clothes for days while we were underground?
Speak for yourself. I got myself a new wardrobe.
We cleaned them back.
Don't some of you know prestidigitation to clean your clothes?
And we've definitely showered.
Yeah.
We were treated pretty okay down there.
Didn't some of you take advantage of the laundry services at the castle we stayed at? Or was that just me?
Services at the castle.
Augie also gestures to their very new clothes.
This is when
The
Kyrie
castle, of course there's laundry services.
This is Kyrie.
I would kneel down.
You all had laundry services?
This is when
Wait,
it's like that
Kyrios, you
meme.
smell that good after not showering
No. This is
and
when
not changing your clothes?
This is when everybody comes to the realization that Kyrios smells like the ass end of a forest.
Which is not that bad considering, forest. So he smells like loam.
Yeah,
And feet.
Loam and feet.
Honestly, there could be worse smells.
I
With a
can
hint
make it
of
worse.
pine.
Yeah, he could be the ass end of a horse.
I can make it worse.
So when I see the see the bags that Alarin's holding, I would go over to Alarin and say, "Now, if I remember correctly, your parents aren't in the picture, but you probably should tell your brother."
Oh, I don't think he'll notice I'm gone. He hasn't noticed since you fixed his arm. He went off to be a guard and basically forgot I existed. So I'm not too worried. I know it's only been 4 days, but yeah, he hasn't really cared about me since our parents died. So I'm not too worried. I'll just leave him a note or something.
Rain's gonna adopt these fucking kids,
I
okay?
was about to say, if he wants a parent, I'm in the
Does this
bucket.
party just have a habit of adopting elves?
Yes.
Yes.
If they impounded the ship, what happened to the little dragon that we had?
No one has investigated that yet.
We haven't been on the ship yet.
I did mention it.
You mentioned it, but it hasn't
Masaru
been
would have
investigated.
that under control. Seeing as he's been
We should
lounging.
probably collect our stuff and gather the crew.
As you say that, Masaru, a small collection of things on a neatly stacked pallet appears a few feet away from you guys, labeled contraband, Invictus Sanctum.
Hey, they labeled it correctly.
I want to go over and check. Yeah, check one of the glass tanks that has a tinted screen. Make sure its inhabitants are still there.
Go ahead and give me an investigation.
I have a +5. This should be fine, right?
You said that yesterday.
I was just sitting here thinking, if you crit fail, something has escaped. No. Everything looks perfectly fine. Everything looks intact. There's actually a couple extra seals on some of the stuff, but as you investigate, Lachlan, everything seems to be in order, if not a couple things smell a little funky, but they kind of smell like
That's
carriers.
good.
Do you make Kyrios' deodorant, Lachlan?
We're all just picking on Kyrios now. Poor guy.
I mean, I make deodorant for myself. I can make some for Carius. It smells like juniper and mint.
I mean, I normally just rub some pine needles under my arms, but I guess that's okay.
I'll make some for you when we get back to the ship. I need my setup. Brutus would go over to the pallet and see if there's anywhere to pick it up and drag it.
What is he? Is he trying to drag the whole pallet?
Yes. He may be smart, but he's not that smart.
It's fair enough. Yeah, he's trying. It's not quite successful. He kind of budges it, but it kind of looks like he's playing a game of tug of war with it.
You are going to draw to your back. Halstrom's going to help, especially because he has powerful build.
Oh yeah, Augie can do that too.
I'm going to roll a perception for Brutus to see if he notices at all that there are other people helping, or if he thinks that he just got stronger.
I'm not going to make you roll a perception for that. I'm just going to go ahead and say that he does notice, because I mean, it's not like Augie or Halstrom can be particularly sneaky.
Clink, clank, clink, clank.
And then Augie's like, Halstrom, have you ever adopted a child you just met, and how do you know if that's really a good idea? Do you just feel an instant connection? Because I really think that this could work.
I have known to have some attachment to a few of my Skitari units. I especially miss Omega 386.
Augie's gonna nod like they know what that means. And go, yes.
He had a
He was have a
specialized in long-range sharpshooting with the arquebus.
Talented.
You don't mean literal attachment, do you?
No. The conjoining of human life is heresy.
Interesting. You seem to have very specific rules about what is and isn't heresy. And, like, the lines are super blurry.
I think that's just religion in general, at least from how I understand it.
Augie says nothing.
There are lines about not being that all technology has already been invented, but with time not being a relatively in flux. What if the invention has already been made? But one has yet to discover the way it is made. Thus, nothing can truly be invented.
Augie has no idea what any of that means.
So, the drinks that I made, the potions I made, that was me committing heresy?
No.
That I invented?
We are going to need to have a talk about salt, though.
The kids have been standing there watching you guys, just kind of like looking back and forth, very confused.
Come on, kids. We'll show you where you can put down your stuff.
Yeah, chuckle because since they're elves, won't they be older than you?
So
Lachlan's
yes,
aware of the different aging of people.
yes, like technically Lachlan is younger than them in years, but they don't really track years in the same way that humans do. It would be like, yeah, it's a stage of life. It would be like saying that if you meet an Aarakocra who's 8 years old when they're fully mature, like that's just saying that you're going to treat them like a child. Yes, technically, they're younger than you, but it's the maturity stage, you know? Or the lack of maturity stage.
And some of us never make it there.
If they're all heading to the ship, Rain is gonna go do stuff which I will message you about.
Gucci.
I would like to keep my eye out for a bird or a squirrel just in the trees.
One more time. Say that word for me one more time.
Squirrel?
Yes. It just was so
What's wrong with squirrel?
Willy Wonka.
Daddy, I want a squirrel.
And I loved it. There was nothing wrong with it. It was great.
Okay.
It sparks joy.
Daddy, I want one. I want a squirrel. I want one now.
Yes.
I want one of those squirrels.
Yes.
Do you want a nature or survival check to find a squirrel?
I'm concerned about why you want to find a squirrel.
I have a task for it, you see.
I that doesn't mean I'm any less concerned. But yeah, go ahead, give me a survival check. Brutus certainly finds
Sorry,
it.
that's supposed to be Lachlan.
I mean,
Brutus points up in the tree.
yeah, Brutus, all of a sudden, you guys are walking along, and all of Brutus's instincts kick in, and he is suddenly laser focused on one of the trees. He's actually laser focused on one of the ships that's not yours. And he goes over to it and he starts barking at it.
I imagine he would like bark, and then shake himself out of it and like, no, I'm more than this now.
I think it just kind of alternates bark, bark, squirrel, squirrel, bark, bark, squirrel, squirrel. Because he's so laser focused.
I look over in that direction and I'm going to cast Animal Friendship. And I'm going to cast Speak with Animals.
Oh, goody.
Yes.
Yes. Hello. Yes. Hello. Hi. Hello.
Hello, my good squirrel sir. How are you today?
I'm all right. I mean, predators. Nuts. Yes. What? Yes. Hi. Hello. Yes. Hi. Can you stop the big thing?
Don't worry about Brutus. He's more evolved. I have a task for you, my friend.
I mean, I don't know what evolution is, but he's barking and he's loud and he's got big teeth. Can you make him stop having the big teeth? Like I can't focus on anything else.
Brutus would stop barking and go, oh no, I did it again.
But yes, yes, what? Hello, hi, yes, what? Hi, what?
You see the big tree over there and the little holes in the top of the tree? I point at the royal chambers.
Oh, yes, danger, the danger tree, yes, yes, danger tree, yes.
It's not that dangerous. It's okay. Especially if I give you this. I hand the squirrel a gold coin, as well as the morsel of food that Animal Friendship consumes.
Oh,
and
it's so high up on the decks. Like, have you ever seen a squirrel like clinging to the side of it, like a wall or something, and it's just staring down at you?
I ask, could you come down here, please? I need to give you this. Brutus, could you give us some space, please?
Yes, yeah.
And it just kind of it comes down a little closer. It doesn't get within like arm's reach. It knows you're not going to hurt it. That doesn't mean it wants to get any closer.
Yes, hello, yes, hi, yes, hi, hello, yes, you were holding.
I just need you to deliver me a message. Is that okay?
Yes. Well, the danger tree. You say it's not dangerous. You aren't a squirrel. You don't know the dangers. Yeah, it's very dangerous. Big predators. Lots of big predators. Bird predators. But tall predators. Tall things like you. But yes. Yes. Food. Yes. Food.
I will give you more food. I need you to, and Lachlan, sizing up intelligence of a squirrel. I just need you to go find one of those predators. They wear a red sash across them with a little bit of gold in there. You know, like the coloration of is this a red squirrel or a gray squirrel?
This is a gray squirrel.
Coloration of there's little flying things. Their chest. They're robins. You know the birds that have the red on them.
What is red? What is red?
I produce an illusion of just of what they need to look for, which is one of the messengers.
So, fun fact: squirrels have dichromatic vision, meaning they don't see red.
Can you find one of these people for me, and can you have them come back here, and I will give you a rummage in my bag. Do I have any acorns? I don't think I have any acorns.
I think you used the last acorn that you had, so I think you grew a tree out of it.
Yeah. Ah, damn it! I used my last acorn. I'll find some acorns for you, and I'll give them to you. Can you go find one of these guys for me and bring them back? Make sure that they look almost exactly like this, but bigger, my size.
Oh, yes. How will they know? How will they not squish me? The dangerous people, danger tree, danger, lots of
it's okay.
Lots of sharp pointies.
It's okay. I pull out my note and I pull out my notepad and I write a note that says, "This squirrel is a messenger. Please do not hurt, and it will." And if you are in fact a messenger, please come to the impound yards and search for the ship Invertebrate Sanctuary.
Yes. Yes. What?
You got this, buddy.
It kind of scrabbles down the ship and kind of sits there, and it kind of stretches up to sniff at you.
And you the barky one, that one will stay away, right? He will stay away.
Yes, Brutus will stay away from you. Now, do you like to scratch cheese behind the ears?
No touch. No, danger.
No touch?
And it kind of puffs up.
I hand a note, and I go on, and it's okay if you don't manage to find anyone. You can keep the food.
It just kind of looks at you before it kind of like. Did you give it the gold or did you just give it the note?
I gave it the gold and the note.
Okay, it drops the gold, puts the note in its mouth, and runs off.
I turn to the others and I say, "That may be a complete waste of time. I forgot how dumb squirrels are."
Oh boy.
You also realize you sent it from the impound lot over several bodies of water.
It is charmed by me unless it succeeded on its wisdom.
I mean, that doesn't mean it's smart.
No. Maybe I should have gone with a bird. I hate
Yep.
being out of spell slots. Okay. Sorry for the delay.
Well, that begs a question. Is there anything else we want to do, or do we want to go ahead and call it for tonight since we're just about to hit the 2.5 hour mark?
I think that's a good plan.
I'm good with
Kill
that.
the
Yeah.
interrogator.
That can happen behind the scenes.
I'll send one of my ninjas after her.
Oh, don't worry. I have been making plans to fuck with her.
Can I help?
I mean, if Yurei or Masaru are in touch with the underground movement in the city, then I'm sure you'll hear about it. And yes, in that case, you are welcome to help.
I believe Yurei is, yes. Who has also been in the room as well, but not saying anything.
Yeah, if anybody had looked around, I would have mentioned that Yurei is also standing there, as well as Masaru, in the same room.
It's too late for that.
I was wondering when Yurei slipped out.
I wasn't. I just figured it happened, but okay.
Bold of you to assume that he ever left. But anyway, that is a mystery for next time around. For now, everyone, make sure to check us out on YouTube. Make sure to follow us on Twitch. Make sure to follow us on TikTok. I've been watching way too much Reggie. Like, I am not here to cure your existence, but I've been watching way too much of everybody's favorite plague doctor. But yes, make sure to follow us on all of your favorite socials. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, interact with our videos so we know what you like, we know what you don't like, and so we can keep providing you guys all of the wonderful content. If you are feeling particularly generous, please make sure to check out the links that we have in our Twitch description so you can continue feeding Duo's Dice Habit, our poor little guy down there. All of his dice are getting stolen by a wood, and it's not fair because a wood won't give them back, and Duo is very sad. And just like always, our anonymous adventurers, remember, there are 20 sides to every story, and roll for yours.